Hello, it's me again. As you can see, I've still got this lovely gardening jumper. Anyway, let me start, before I say anything else, let me say a big thank you to everybody who donated to our Pristine Belle appeal. The response was fantastic, and thanks to you we've added an extra £900 into the kitty. The total now stands at £35,000. Remember, we were after 50,000? And I'm quietly confident that we're going to get the rest of the money by the summer. So once again, thank you so much to everybody who's donated. I'm really quite touched by it. The response was fantastic. I also went round all 800 homes in Pristine and stuck a letter through the letterbox, making them aware of the appeal and asking them to donate, and the response from the town has been brilliant too. All but about £1,000 of that 35,000 has come from donations from people rather than organisations. So people here really want those bells to be ringing out nice and loud and easy to ring, so thanks again. Anyway, I have been quite busy in the garden while I've been away. I mean, there's always stuff to do. I mean, let's start with the apple tree. I gave it a very good pruning earlier in the year. Now, while we're on the subject of apples, I've been a little bit brave. You see, for the last couple of years I've always thought there's just been too many apple trees in the garden. I mean, I have all these spindles plus my big cooking apple tree, and I still had a cooking apple spindle here, so I've got rid of 2 apple trees and I've spaced the rest out. This is my favourite apple spindles because it gives these absolutely delicious Katia apples, and I've moved it to the centre of these posts, which means I've moved it about a foot. Likewise, these 2 apple trees have also moved. This one by about a foot to put it more central with regard to the poles, and this one in the middle used to be next to the Katia. Now, I don't know if they're going to survive or not. Transplanting trees is always a bit of a risky business, but I dug well around and tried to pull things up without breaking too many roots, so fingers crossed. And I reckon if they come into blossom in a few weeks' time, I've won! I've really thinned the black currants out this year. These are all new shoots, and I got rid of any old shoots from last year. My fruit cage has had a really good tidy up over the winter as well. But there is one new addition. This is a new blueberry bush, because the other one died. Blueberries usually do better when they're with friends, and I didn't want the original blueberry bush to get lonely. There have been some fruity changes here too. You might remember that I used to have a climbing rose here that went up over the arch. Now, I've said before, I'm not a great fan of climbing roses. And I also mentioned I thought about growing grapes this year. Well, here's my little grapevine. It's a variety called Lakemont Seedless. Now, I've been giving a lot of thought as to what veggies I want to plant this year, and I've come to the conclusion, it's taken me a little while to get there, that there's no point in growing things I don't really like. So, in here, there's going to be sweet corn, but there's going to be much more sweet corn than there used to be. In fact, I'm going to pack it full of sweet corn. Over here, I'm going to put potatoes, lots and lots of potatoes. Well, as many as I can get in here. A couple of different varieties as well, because I like potatoes and we eat potatoes. Over here, notice I haven't dug up all my leeks yet. This I'm going to dig out completely, get rid of all the stones, and I'm going to plant carrots and parsnips. I love roast parsnips and I love carrots. And over here, this is going to be cauliflower and broccoli in one bed, which I can cover with netting to get rid of those horrible cabbage whites from eating all my things. SLAP, slap, sounds like a plan. Notice that my fence is still standing. Hurrah! And down this end of the garden, the part which looks out onto our bedroom, I've put in some conifers. These are Leylandii. But Don't panic, they're not the super fast growing type which will grow 30 feet in 6 weeks. No, these grow about a foot a year. That I can cope with. Mind you, it's going to be a little while before we can't see the fence anymore. Now some of you may remember that there used to be an arch here. Well, it's not an arch anymore. No sirree, Bob. I cut that off there, dug it up from here, and now it's a bit more open, which means I can get my wheelbarrow along here without scraping the sides of my knuckles on these damn wooden arch. Now, I haven't really done much with these two borders since the autumn, and let me tell you why. See, the thing is, this bed's a bit too wide from my perspective. Must do something with these foxgloves. And over here, hubby and I have decided that we'd quite like to have a little patio so that we can sit out on the evening and enjoy the evening sun. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to be formulating some plans for down here. Not sure what's going to happen with this tree though. It's been pants, to be honest, and I'm not sure whether it's going to stay. I'll probably reshape both of these borders, make them a little bit more interesting, certainly narrower. A lot of work ahead. By the way, it's okay to stare at my washing. There's no knickers on the line, so you can't say that you've seen Titli's knickers. Oh, and one last major change I should show you is that my two compost bins are now together, where the big quince bush used to be. It was nice, but very messy. So as you can see, I've got lots of plans and lots of planting to do before the garden really starts to get going in the spring. Certain things need transplanting. Some of them I'm going to put round in the front garden, and some of them I'll move around in this garden. Remember last year I said I wanted to create a geranium border? Well, I think that's what I'll be doing with the border nearest the fence there. Now, I can't promise that I'm going to be here every week, much as I would like to be, because other things are pulling on my time at the moment, as you can imagine. But I will make you this promise. If it gets towards the weekend and the sun is shining, I'll get my camera out. So, thanks for watching, and do join me next time in Titli's busy garden.